If you're asking, what is it with entertainment professionals and comic book professionals and worshiping Satan? I've been wondering that too. But it seems like that's what it takes to take the ticket to be able to work for Disney Marvel. I think they just have to engage in these ritualistic evil things in order to prove their allegiance to this world. Well, they got their reward, a lot of these people, including Heather Antos, who keeps getting promoted within the comic industry, despite being an abject failure in everything she's touched so far. One wonders why she keeps failing upward. This might be a good answer for it, as over the weekend, she has demonstrated her commitment to praising Satan once again. She's not the only one in the comic industry, which we're going to go over in this video here. Please hit the like and subscribe button, everybody. And this is my Hidden Emperor, Ayla Rin sci-fi graphic novel, no Satan included. And we are bringing an alternative to the mainstream comic industry, making great books with action-adventure like they used to do. If you want quality sci-fi, if you want a wonderful character, if you want some good world building, we have all of that right here with some beautiful art from our artist, Ms. Crimson. As you can see, we're approaching $30,000 on here, and I would love if you'd back this today and help us to get over that hump. And of course, read our excellent works. This is something that I think you'll really love. And if you enjoyed my last book, Overmind, you'll very much enjoy this even more, I think. All right, it's in the description below, and please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us here as we call out the mainstream comic industry for their bad behavior, which is going on across the board. Now, today's story is that IDW publishing editor Heather Antos openly broadcasts Satan worship at Chicago Fan Expo. From her little history of Heather Antos, she started as an associate editor at Marvel Comics. She worked on the Star Wars line, and as an associate editor, you're mostly, getting coffee for the editor. It's like an intern-like position. And she got herself into a little bit of a controversy back then by posting weird feminist rants and showing all the women at Marvel, the famous milkshake poster, right, which was called out by your boy Zach, which also made him famous at the time. Now, when your boy Zach did this, he was criticizing Marvel Comics and everything they were doing. He's lost his way quite a bit, as we've been covering in recent videos. And Heather Antos has continued on just with her woke nonsense and victim, playing over and over and over again for the last several years. She eventually left Marvel Comics and left the comic industry, which we thought and we hoped was for good, only to return at Valiant Comics, where she became editor of the Exo Man-O-War comic book. Now, Exo Man-O-War had a resurgence in recent years with a beautiful, beautiful run from Robert Venditti. Check that out. It's from 2012. And then Matt Kindt followed it up with some great stuff and some great artists working on his run as well. Now, when Heather got around to it, she just brought in her friends and wrecked the book, wrecked the continuity. And a lot of longtime Valiant fans, I'm in multiple Valiant groups and have been a fan of Exo Man-O-War for a long, long time, said they pretty much gave up on Valiant Comics just because they can't come back from the way she treated that character. Absolutely terrible. Somebody who clearly didn't pay attention to the characterization, didn't pay attention to what the stories of Exo Man-O-War should be. And bad editorial direction just by nepotism. Now, she parlayed that Valiant job into IDW Comics, where she worked as the Star Trek editor and still does for a long, long time. Now, I called out one of her early books when she got onto this for terrible continuity errors. There was a book of the Mirror War that took place on Deep Space Nine. They actually had guns with bullet shells being fired rather than use of phasers and disruptors. It had Lieutenant Worf showing up in somebody's thoughts, even though the book took place in Season 2 and Worf doesn't show up till Season 4. The characters had never met him until that point. It was terrible, terrible continuity errors, and that's her one job as the editor. It was clear she hadn't really watched Star Trek, didn't really know Star Trek. It was a disaster. Now, she relaunched the Star Trek line and all new number ones, the usual thing, and actually made a universe that takes place after the Voyager and Deep Space Nine goes off the air. And it was a terrible fan fiction. The book actually has one cast member from each series, all on one ship under Captain Benjamin Sisko. And so you get Spock on the ship, and no, I think that one has Scotty. But there's two different books, and they have two different ships, and it's a mishmash of casts to try to make a bad fan fiction out of it. horribly written all the way around. It doesn't feel like Star Trek whatsoever, and is some of the worst fan fiction I've ever seen. For some reason, it keeps getting nominated for Eisner Awards, which just shows how industry clout is what matters, not actually quality fiction. Now, it started out pretty well, but from what I understand, sales have declined rapidly. People don't like it because it doesn't feel like Star Trek. The characters are all wrong. And because of this, they almost lost the license earlier this year. But Heather got promoted to license manager at IDW, in the head of all licensed properties. Now, that's where all this begins. Now, let's look at the background of her Satanism and see if this might have had anything to do with her promotions within the industry. It seems like it would, with fans hating everything that she touches, with problems over and over and over again, just with her being controversial and all that companies really wouldn't want that involved with their brands, especially licensed brands like Star Trek. But that's what we have going on here. Now, if you get into it, the first time she came up with attacking Christians and being evil was this tweet from 2018. This was posted on Easter, and she posted, "He has risen, JK April Fools," in order to attack the concept of Christianity altogether. Absolutely sick and terrible as it is. Again, like if any other group was attacked like this, if she made fun of Muslims, if she made fun of gay people, if she made fun of trans people, if she made fun of women, she would never work in comic books again. But because she made fun of Christians and made fun of Christianity, the industry golf claps for this. It's absolutely terrible. These are Christophobic people who hate Christians. They want you dead, all of them. It's a terrible, terrible thing in the comic book industry, and that's a large reason as why we fight against this. So a couple years later, she comes back. She says, "I don't care if your neighbor's dog spoke to you in the name of Satan, so long as you picked up your first comic and became a fan." So she wants that happening, and she wants people who are interested in Satan to be reading her comic books. Clearly, with this situation right here. Now, she had another tweet, which I did not put into the article, which just literally said, "Maybe today, Satan," about a month later. So, a lot of people say "not today, Satan." She put "maybe today, Satan," as if she's going to give in to the devil's, desires in order to, I guess, further her career. That seems to be what it is. Now, once all these tweets came out, very, very weird, she joined a pro-grooming anthology. Now, this anthology went up on BackerKit, and it was called When I Was Young. And you can see the cover's creepy. It's like got this weird LGBTQ lady looking naked and sexually molesting this young child, trying to get her into the lifestyle, I guess, who's crying. These people kind of tell on themselves, even with their own art. Every time they present these concepts, they know it's evil, but they got to go forward with it anyway and try to make it look bright and pretty. If you read into the subtext into it like that, it's grooming. It's terrible. It's sexualizing little kids. Now, Heather Antos actually contributed art to this project for a full story. Her first published art credit is going to be in this anthology right here. I speculate that this is part of, maybe an offering of child sacrifice to the devil in order to keep her career going. Seems like it as it's going forward with this. Now, she made a video also, which is a crazy video, where she mocks Christians again. She posted this up to her TikTok and her Instagram and Twitter, not TikTok. Sorry about that. I got this off TikTok. And then when she did that, It has a message where she's pretending to respect Christians and says some Christians are coming over. They don't have a Bible though. We have the next best thing, and she pulls out the Jedi Path book, which is done up and dressed to look like a Bible. So again, it's just mocking Christianity. It's part of what she does. Absolutely something that's hateful. It's bigoted. It should be condemned. And again, it's just accepted and tolerated within the industry because Christian hate and anti-Christianity is something that's acceptable within the industry. But now she's gone even further. So with her old antics here, she's got a T-shirt here. She's posing with her deal at Fan Expo Chicago this last weekend, where she's wearing a T-shirt that says "Hail Satan," and it says "Established 666" with an upside-down cross. Evil imagery, of course, and just complete, wanton worship of the devil, worship of this world. And this is exactly what's being presented through IDW. This is what IDW apparently stands for. This is what they stand for with the Star Trek brand now. It is something that's really, really sick and should be condemned all the way around. and yet nobody in the comic industry is going to say a word about this because of her clout and everything that she's got going. Now, again, it just seems like as she's failed up in all these positions, perhaps that Satan worship is what's gotten her there. Perhaps that's where, she's made herself untouchable. But unfortunately, Satan always gets his due, Heather. It's not a good thing. And at the end of this article, I call for everybody to, of course, keep Heather in prayers, get her back on track, and hopefully she will get off of this bad path in her life and change her ways and repent and accept Jesus Christ as Lord so we can all celebrate somebody else coming into the kingdom. Oh my gosh, it's really sad, really tragic, and really evil. And I don't know what it is about comic industry. It's not just her. Donnie Cates has posted his Satanism. I don't know what's happened to him in recent days, but he has gone out there and said, "Good to chat with you all." Here he, do you renounce Satan and his works? Honestly, I've not. In his empty promises, he said, "I've not found them to be so empty." Again, this lends credence to the comic industry's got a problem, and perhaps when you sell your soul, when you take the ticket, you get promoted within these agencies, within these institutions, all owned by Disney. It's kind of weird. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. And for an alternative to mainstream comics, make sure to back our Hidden Emperor comic today. Really appreciate you guys for all the tremendous support. And of course, we're just getting started. The best is yet to come. Even though we're blacklisted by the industry, even though they hate us for our Christianity, we're not going to back down. We are always going to provide the message, and we're always going to provide beautiful comic books for you to check out that are different from them. All right, we'll see you soon.